Disasters happen in every community, and they come in all shapes and sizes, from a simple incident affecting one community to a major catastrophe affecting an entire region. A hurricane, for example, can cause a massive storm surge and powerful winds, which can lead to flooding, collapsed buildings, fire, loss of power, and other consequences. When these widespread impacts cascade and multiply, we have a catastrophe on our hands. The Emergency Operations Center, or EOC, is where emergency managers see the totality of the catastrophe and where they connect to the executives who set policy and to the agencies working on the ground. They turn strategy into action, what needs to be done into how to do it. But during a catastrophe, tasks pour into the EOC from many different directions, from the media, agencies in the field, and from elected officials, among others. In the early hours of a catastrophe, the EOC can be overwhelmed as emergency managers struggle with an ever-growing list of tasks. Some of these issues are so big and so complex that the emergency manager focuses on other, more manageable issues first. But big issues never go away. They just get bigger. In fact, a single issue, if put off for a long time, could threaten the entire response. The key is to understand that these complex issues cannot be solved easily or quickly, and they cannot be solved alone. The EOC operates using teams, and it is up to the emergency managers to convene these teams to address important issues and respond to the disaster. An example of these teams is the Emergency Support Functions, or ESFs, groups of agencies and organizations with similar missions, with existing plans and relationships that gather information from the field, provide resources to support operations, and develop solutions to issues that come into the EOC. They are organized around core competencies like transportation, communications, energy, health and medical, and so on. Emergency managers in the EOC break down tasks into manageable pieces and assign them to different ESFs for resolution. For example, the problem of flood-damaged cars blocking roadways would be assigned to the Transportation ESF. These agencies would then partner to establish a system to tow the vehicles and return them to their owners. Emergency managers in the EOC would support this new operation with information and resources to get the job done. For tasks that span more than one ESF, or for more complex problems that have no easy answer, the emergency managers must go to the next step. Gather new teams called Interagency Task Forces, or ITFs, which are convened to address specific issues. For example, the emergency manager in the EOC would convene task forces around their most complicated tasks, like fuel shortages. These task forces, made up of representatives from different agencies and organizations, as well as subject matter experts, are responsible for finding a solution. The work of the ITF can be broken down into several steps. First, understand the problem. How big is it? Where is it? And what is being experienced by the community? What are the possible solutions? And what is needed to solve it? Next, the team must determine a path forward. This may include agreeing to use an existing plan or writing a new plan where one does not exist. Once an interagency task force determines a solution, that course of action must be vetted through the chain of command and the decision-making hierarchy. Everyone with a stake in the problem needs to know the who, what, where, when, and how it will be done. It is the emergency manager's job to make sure that the right agencies and organizations are represented in the task force. This includes agencies with legal authority, agencies with assets, as well as representatives from nonprofits, academia, and the private sector. Interagency collaboration can only work if all the agencies with a stake in the problem are part of the solution. During a catastrophe, the number of problems coming through the door can quickly escalate and become overwhelming, even though it may seem impossible to tackle them all. The emergency managers are not alone. The system is designed to build teams around specific issues so the EOC can manage the consequences of the catastrophe. It is through teamwork that the emergency manager creates order out of chaos.